We called it once again like we always do. And it's all and today we're going to be talking about the XRP ETFs, guys, because XRP has truly gotten the biggest green light of them all from the TradFi system. Why? From Cointelegraph Insight, XRP may be Wall Street's dark horse, with spot ETF filings in motion and some funds viewing it as the next Bitcoin. We told you, right? What's the next Bitcoin, guys? But not necessarily. XRP is itself, right? It is itself, but it's what Bitcoin wishes to be. But it can't. This is why we got XRP. Ding, ding, ding. Very beautiful. Please like today's video. Now, like we stated, guys, XRP is a dark horse. It is the first horse in the gate, okay, and the first out of. Now, why does XRP have the craziest checkmark alive? Because we see all these issuers, from Bitwise to Canary Capital to Grayscale, CoinShares, Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree, all these asset managers, okay, who manage 5 billion, 200 million, 7 billion, 113 billion, 70 billion, 40 billion, 5 billion, 5 billion, 1.5 trillion, another billion and $320 million are filing for an XRP ETF here rather shortly. I mean, they already did. Now they're just waiting for the approval from the SEC. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Here are the dates, guys. Okay, from these different for these different filings, and it all lands towards the late October. And it all lands late October. Okay, very jam-packed. Now, just as these ETFs are going to go live here soon, we're going from a niche market to the mainstream. So you guys must be prepared here, okay? Not to mention, we're getting all these products being launched. Defiance ETFs has just filed for just shy of 50 3x levered ETFs, some on single stocks, some on other ETFs, and some on crypto ETPs. Things are getting wild. Okay? Well, this is crazy because look at this. RackShares just filed for 21 crypto ETFs. Yes, 21. Aave, Cardano, Atom, AVAX, Bitcoin Cash, I believe, Crow, Dot, HBAR, Hype, Engine, Link, Litecoin, Near, XLM, right? All these guys. This is what you call the spray and pray method. You just literally try to go for everything within the whole crypto market, and something has to stick here, right? This is their plan. I thought all these ETFs were going to get launched next year. Never mind. I guess now or soon. But wait, what's really the game plan here? ETF opportunities trust delays to October 10th, 2x long ETFs to October 10th, 2025 for XRP, Solana, Trump, Litecoin, and all these other coins. Okay, so all these products are trying to get launched, guys. They're trying their hardest to get launched here soon. But here's the obstacle. The obstacle is the government shutdown has occurred. Okay. So what's going to happen next? Update. The SEC missed Thursday's deadline for Canary Capital's spot Litecoin ETF decision and amid government shutdown. Bloomberg analysts note old 19B4 deadlines may be irrelevant as SEC transitions to new generic listing standards. Right? So the SEC already missed the spot Litecoin ETF, guys. That was supposed to go live. Not any longer. You know what? Okay, so let's say, I think it's because of the government shutdown, guys. So let's say when the government reopens, you know what would be the craziest thing ever? If the SEC approved all of this, and XRP ETFs all in a singular day. That would be the most ballistic day known to mankind. That's what I'll actually do, since it's getting delayed, right? Since they're like kicking the can down the road because of an external event that just happened with the government, you may as well all launch it on the same exact day to bring upon the max FOMO. What are your guys' thoughts? Here comes from Eleanor. She replied to this view from Chad. Remember that the 2 Korean XRP ETF was not approved by the SEC directly. They reached the deadline and the SEC didn't approve or deny the listing. So it was automatically allowed to silence its compliance, right? So could this tie to XRP's ETF? Which means maybe the shutdown doesn't even matter, right? And how the SEC doesn't have a lot of its employees. So maybe will the XRP ETFs and all these other ETFs just launch, just like in silence? I don't think so. From Eleanor. Adding some context here for those asking if this applies to all ETFs, including the spots. The short answer is no. The 2 Korean XRP ETF holds treasury, cash, and swap receivables, so it was registered under the 40 Act, meaning the SEC didn't need to actively approve it. Just let it go effective. The SEC also generally lets futures ETFs go effective once the statutory period passes, rather than requiring a new active approval each time. Spot ETFs, though, are registered under the 33 Act as commodity trusts and do require explicit SEC approval before launching, so any new spot crypto ETFs, Litecoin, Solana, and XRP, won't begin trading until the SEC can declare the S1 is effective, likely after the government shutdown is over and the agency has returned to operating at full capacity. I already cracked the code. Oh my lord. Here's what I just thought about. Listen to this. So, okay, let's say in the coming weeks, okay, because the deadline is basically in 2 weeks for the XRP ETF's launch, they don't approve it because they can't. The government is shut down, partially. So, the game plan might honestly be here for them to approve all these ETFs from all these other coins, okay, and products, all on the same exact day, which will literally skyrocket or moonshot it overnight. Okay, it may be isolated here with these certain coins when the time is correct. Wouldn't that be something here? Government shutdown puts crypto ETF approvals on ice. Okay, we called it first. Remember? Exactly. So the government shutdown has slowed operations across most federal agencies, including the SEC, affecting its ability to greenlight long-awaited crypto ETFs. But the more it's like building, it's like suppression, right? It's like building an emotion or bottling up an emotion, and it gets so tight. An explosion is waiting to happen, right? So the more they delay, which they have been for months, because we're at the max deadline, by the way, right? So they either have to approve or deny in the coming weeks, but they can't because they're shut down. But when they reopen, and when they're forced to give out their answer, it's most likely going to be approved, which will, in a single day, bring upon so much liquidity to these crypto assets, digital assets, which whoever is launching their products. During a shutdown, the regulators can still act on fraud and market emergencies, but routine work slows. IPOs, ETFs, and other filings may be delayed, rulemaking may pause, and non-essential staff are often furloughed. Because spot ETFs need a formal sign-off from the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance to begin trading. Anticipated product launches like Litecoin, Solana, and XRP will likely be on hold until funding is restored. So here's the thing. When will the government reopen? Let's actually just check on the betting market. Now, this is crazy. So we're on Kalshi, guys. Okay, and this is where like regular people, you and I, would bet on certain things happening with the world, right, and markets and the economy and all sorts of stuff, even sports. I don't even know. Like if you go in markets here, look at this, has a bunch of different stuff here. I've never used any of this, by the way, because to me it's like purely gambling. But nevertheless, other people has. So the people who are betting here says more than 14 days. 63% chance, yes, that they'll reopen. okay, that the government will the government shutdown will last until more than 14 days, more than 15 days, 54%, and more than 20 days. Okay, 37%. So give or take 2 weeks, it seems like. 2 weeks from now takes us to a day before the first deadline for the XRP spot ETF from Grayscale to be approved. That's actually a coincidence. Crazy. But when they reopen, they probably have so much more stuff to take care of first, right? And then they'll get to the ETFs, because it's not an emergency. It doesn't have priority to be first, in my opinion. I don't know, but it depends how long it takes for them to reopen, right? For now, the market believes two weeks, but it could be longer, right? So these things can launch in 2 weeks, 3, or even in the month of November. But by how it's looking like, probably November. I'm not even kidding, because I don't think it will take 2 weeks for the government to reopen. To be honest, it could though, right? Something tells me maybe November, but who knows? That's just guessing at the end of the day. Quote, "It's like a rain delay," end quote. Okay. So, I mean, we already knew this, guys, right? We already knew this, but in my opinion, this is actually a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise, because the more they delay, right? Since we're already used to delays, guys, since it's attached to XRP, we have mastered the skill patience, right? So since they're delaying it, it's actually a blessing in disguise, because when they launch these ETFs, it's gonna pour so much liquidity on the first day. It's gonna be magical, in my opinion. So it's better for them to delay than not, guys, right? Since it's happening anyway, so we shouldn't fight it. Yeah, I mean, now we just wait to see what happens later this month. If not, then most likely in the month of November, where everything will be greenlit and the flood of tsunami will hit the market like it's a damn kraken. Now, financial advice, let us prepare. But it was nice to face amazingness. See ya.